Christopher Nolan's Odyssey just became one of the biggest openings of his career. But if you've read Homer's original poem, several of the most famous scenes in the movie either got rewritten, merged with a completely different ancient text, or quietly removed. Homer's original poem doesn't actually start with Odysseus at all. It opens with his son Telemachus, alone in Ithaca, searching for any word of a father who vanished 20 years earlier. Odysseus himself doesn't appear until several books later. Nolan keeps the Telemachus opening, staying close to Homer here, but he introduces Odysseus far earlier than the original poem does. Both versions do begin on Calypso's island, but that's where the paths split. One of the most famous moments in the entire poem is how Odysseus escapes the Cyclops Polyphemus. He tells the giant his name is Nobody, blinds him while he sleeps, and when Polyphemus screams for help, his neighbors ask who's attacking him. He shouts, "Nobody's attacking me," and nobody comes. In Nolan's film, Polyphemus's name is never even spoken aloud, and that specific trick is left out entirely. When Odysseus finally returns home in disguise, Penelope doesn't recognize him immediately, and Homer gives her one final test to confirm his identity. She asks a servant to move their marriage bed out of the bedroom. Odysseus reacts with genuine anger, explaining it's impossible because he built the bed himself around a living olive tree. That detail is what finally proves who he is. Nolan replaces this entirely with a brooch Penelope gave Odysseus before he left for Troy. Perhaps the single biggest structural change involves the goddess Athena. In Homer, she's the true engine of Telemachus's entire storyline, motivating him, disguising herself to guide him, protecting him, and orchestrating the exact moment Odysseus reveals his identity to his son. In Nolan's version, her role shrinks dramatically, shifting weight toward Odysseus's own choices instead of divine intervention. Here's a change that isn't really about cutting anything. It's about combining two stories that were never connected. In Homer's Odyssey, the suitor Antinous and a man named Sinon have no relationship whatsoever, and Sinon doesn't even appear in the Odyssey at all. He belongs to Virgil's Aeneid, where he's the Greek who convinces Troy to drag the wooden horse inside their walls. Nolan invents a brotherhood between Antinous and Sinon that exists in neither original source. The biggest divergence of all comes at the very end. In Homer's poem, after killing Penelope's suitors, Odysseus reclaims his throne and resumes his rule over Ithaca. In Nolan's film, Odysseus does the opposite. He hands the kingdom to Telemachus and leaves Ithaca with Penelope instead. So is Nolan's Odyssey faithful to Homer? Mostly in structure, yes. But the details that give the poem its meaning were all deliberately rewritten. Which change surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments.